Hello and welcome. In this lecture, we will be building a Blazor application, web application in ASP.NET, and we'll be building a server-side streaming rendering app with Blazor. So first, a bit about the theoretical part. So in server-side rendering or SSR, render modes can be thought of as progressive enhancements over each other. Now the base mode is the server-side rendering or SSR in short, and here the HTML is generated by the server in response to a request. Now using this server-side rendering mode makes applications extremely fast as there is no work required on the client, unlike downloading large WebAssembly assets in case you used to use WebAssembly template. Okay, and the server just sends HTML that the browser then renders. This means each request for a new page results in a full page reload. So this is the SSR process flow. It's a very simple. A web request is from the browser is sent to the server. So any data is fetched or logic is executed before producing the HTML response, and a static HTML is shown and the page is rendered on the browser. So this is the photocode C. Now there is a new template available for Blazor application in .NET 8 which removes the Blazor WebAssembly and Blazor server specifics, and it creates a standard starting point using the server side rendering, which is the default rendering. Now to create a new Blazor app using this template, we can use this command .NET new Blazor, and the name of this application say Blazor SSR. Now we'll do that all in actual code. So this is my Windows Explorer or File Explorer. Here I will bring I'll open it in terminal. Terminal window is here. So I'll paste this command .NET new Blazor, name is SSR. So it will create a Blazor application named Blazor SSR within its own dedicated folder, and if you click on it will expand the Blazor SSR project, and we have got Blazor SSR.cs project. Now let's open this file. Now I will discuss the streaming rendering after I have shown you the application in action, and then it will be good to discuss what is streaming rendering. So I will open with Visual Studio 2022 because that is my default Visual Studio environment, which fully supports Visual Studio .NET 8, ASP.NET 8, and you can see this is this version. So Visual Studio Community 2022 version 17.10.0. So if you are new to Visual Studio 2022, if you download the latest version from the Microsoft site by searching Visual Studio 2022 community version, then it will be fine. You don't need to configure anything else after you install it successfully, and it will have this .NET 8 SDK. Okay. Now before discussing diving deeper into the project structure and making the streaming application, it's a good time to see what I am telling, just to verify that the project created is indeed targeting .NET 8. So target framework is .NET 8. So my server application that I have created through .NET command line interface is indeed .NET 8 software development kit. Now I have opened up the project folder, and you can see there is a component directory, a component folder under which there is a layout folder which has got the main layout.razor and have menu.razor, and there is a pages folder which has got counter, error, home, and weather, which you are all familiar with if you are coming from a previous Blazor background in any of the Blazor versions, Blazor in .NET say 6 or 7. But here you can see that the app razor is the only file. It has replaced the host.cshtml And so two of the changes that have become notable in this Blazor server application or Blazor web application, because it has got rid of several templates, and this is the new template, and it has that index.html and underscore host.html places. These two files are no more there. This page markup that would normally be found in those pages will be here in app.razor page. Okay, along with the router component. Now here we will see in the program file, you can see in this part, add services to the container, builder.services.add razor components add interactive server components. That's what is making it interactive. It is allowing server side rendering with stream rendering services. So all you have to do is to create in the pages folder, you add a razor component, and this is, I can call this streaming, stream demo.razor, and on this stream demo.razor page, I can copy it over with the clipboard code, and this is the streaming demo. So you can see that apart from the usual page directive, which gives you the route, which I need to configure, you got this route at this attribute, new attribute, stream rendering. Now this is the attribute that is doing the magic, that is actually helping in the stream rendering. Okay, and this part at using system.threading.tasks, and this is using this library. Now before I show you, I need to configure the routing, and then I will start explaining. So nav menu.razor, I'll copy from here. I'll copy one of these links. First of all, let me copy it over here. Streaming demo, it is lost. Okay, so just copy one of these. It's a counter. And this href, instead of routing being counter, which is already there, streaming demo, and call this streaming or streaming demo, whatever you would like to call, and that's about it. So if you hit the run button, I will come and explain later what it is doing, but for now let us show it in action. Here is the app rendered. Now if I hit streaming demo, lo, it is rendering it. It is streaming rendering, rather than rendering all the items from 1 to 10 as a whole list after a gap, after a lapse of a few milliseconds or seconds. It is doing it item by item. This is the beauty of the streaming, server-side rendering, but streaming rendering as well. So how does it work? Now, code-wise, it's not difficult to understand. If item equals null, then it will show loading. Else, for each var item in items collection, and what is items? It comes from the code. Item is a list of string, which is initialized as a new list of string, and then we call the load items async method, and it is a for loop. For within a for loop from 1 to 10, items are added. This is to this initialized list of string, we add this item with this string extrapolation, and then state has changed is called. So this is important because it notifies that the state has changed. When the applicable, this will cause the component to be re-rendered, and then we are delaying the task by 500 milliseconds or half a second. Okay, so after, just to produce a delay in a long, just to simulate long running task, we put this code, line of code, away task.delay, and give it 500 seconds. So that is stream rendering. Now, if you, on the other hand, if you just comment this out. Okay, let's comment this part out. Now when I run the app and hit on stream demo, nothing will happen initially, and now it comes up with all the items being loaded in one go. So all for omitting this attribute. And if you just uncomment this part and hit the reload button, hot reload button, and then come over here, it will start showing the streaming demo. Wonderful, isn't it? It's a modern marvel of web development through Microsoft. And now before leaving, let's study what has happened. So what is streaming rendering? We have seen that it allows part of a web page to be rendered and sent to the client incrementally. And this is the next layer in server-side rendering. So this is SSR plus, you can say. And it doesn't require waiting for the entire page to be fully rendered on the server. And it improves the perceived performance and responsiveness of web applications. And how it works? It, first of all, this web request goes for this website, whatever it could be. Here it is blazor.com/products, and then say there is a wrong, the initial page response is generated and sent back to the client containing placeholders. But there is a long running request which are executed in the background, such as fetching data from a database, and then initial HTML containing placeholders for the remaining content comes up, and once long running tasks are completed, the remaining HTML is generated. Now before that, initial page is rendered with placeholders. Okay, from step 3, which was initial HTML containing placeholders for the remaining content, to initial page being rendered with placeholders. And then once long running tasks complete, the remaining HTML is generated and sent to the client over the existing response, and then remaining HTML is sent over to the DOM, over to the browser, and HTML patched into the existing DOM and shown on the browser. Okay, so that's all about this application, Blazor server-side rendering and stream rendering, which is the latest technology in Blazor through ASP.NET 8. Thanks very much.